Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. In the past many videos on this channel, we have over 1,500 videos and counting now, we've discussed this topic that I want to talk to you a lot, but I thought perhaps this is another angle that could help you a little bit more in your journey to moving away from your breakup and moving on to bigger and better things. So let's examine, why is it so difficult for you to move on? In addition to all the other videos that we've discussed, you perhaps want to add this to other reasons that we have talked about why you can and you should be able to move on from your breakup. Well, one reason that you're not moving on because you really haven't separated pleasure and the person. What do I mean by that? Well, when you are separating, or when you are broken up, when you break up with your girlfriend, and again I'm talking about one kind of relationships, and you just switch it around, see if the concept and what we discuss makes sense in your case, and you can use the purpose of the video, the content of the video for your situation, however your relationship is. But it's easier for me to talk about one kind so I can deliver it before I forget what it is that I want to say. So one of the reasons that you can't move on so easily, it seems a little bit difficult, is because you're so focused on the pleasure part of the experience in that relationship that you haven't been able to sort out and come up with clear differences between what you're focusing on and what you should be focusing on. In other words, you haven't separated the pleasure from the persona, the pleasure from the person. You are very familiar and very clear what the benefits and the pleasure of that relationship is. And human being usually remembers all the good stuff and forgets the bad stuff. So, and pleasure is the highest level of achievement in everyone's mind. You do everything you do so you can have that moments of pleasure and enjoy your life. So when there is a pleasurable relationship, or there are pleasurable moments in a relationship, that's the one that always comes to your mind. That's the one that you always try to identify the person with the pleasurable moments of a relationship, which is totally two different things. Because when a breakup happens, it's not the pleasurable part of the relationship that causing the breakup. Is the persona, who that person is between you two, who your consciousnesses are, that causes the breakup, that can't get along and it's not compatible anymore. And the divisions and conflicts are between the person, the persona, the center, the consciousness of two people. But when the breakup happens, you have a difficulty to actually recognizing who you are breaking up is different than the pleasure of the relationship. And when you think back, or you crave your ex, or you are devastated because you're constantly focusing on that your girlfriend was represented by the pleasure and the pleasurable moments of the relationship, which is not true. The pleasurable moments of the relationship are just that, the good parts. But who the girlfriend was, who each one of you are, is not the pleasurable moments, is not represented by that. It's represented by the conditionings you have received in your consciousness. So if you separate the pleasure, the memories of the pleasure of that relationship from the actual person that you were in a relationship, then you would have an easier time to recognize the person who's broken up with you is a consciousness that has broken up with you, is not compatible with you. It's not the concept of the pleasure that has broken up with you, that you're so devastated, thinking that the pleasure itself has broken up with you. No, that person who is constantly evolving, and her consciousness is evolved since the time you guys met, and she's now a different person, has broken up with you. If you focus on her, who she is, what she has evolved to, what she has changed to, then you will not mix her up by thinking, well, that's the same person I received so many wonderful pleasure moments and memories from. How can she be bad? But if you focus on who she is, what she has changed into, evolved into, her consciousness has changed into, then you will be more clear that the person that you've broken up is not the pleasurable moments that you've broken up with. It's the person. And if you separate the two, then you will not crave her, because you will see that she's changed into something different, and that something different is not what you used to like. She's changed, she's no longer what you used to like of her, and therefore you will be able to separate the good moments of the relationship from who she has become, or who she is, or the differences between you two as a human being, as a person, as a consciousness. Then you will see her for who she is in actuality at the time that you guys break up, and not representing her and not being represented by the way she used to be and the pleasure moments that you used to have in this relationship, and get confused that how can I actually think she's bad because it was all pleasurable, because you're not focusing on who she has become now, and you're perceiving her as she used to be, not as she is today. That's what you should be focusing on, because that will help you to see what you're up against and who really is that you're in a relationship with or you broke up with, instead of thinking that it is the pleasure that you can't let go, and that's why you feel so devastated. Think about it, and I will talk to you soon.